Airbus 99 lifted.
They fly in some of the UK's most dramatic landscapes.
Okay, the weather's starting to close in. I'm worried I can't get over the ridge. My escape option at the moment is to go up.
From high-rise city centres...
It's going to be bumpy, it's going to be turbulent, guys.
...to remote peaks battered by extreme weather.
The top looks to be inclined. Can you confirm that's the case, Alan?
The crews of Yorkshire's 2 air ambulances risk their lives...
Gone unresponsive.
It's just gone unresponsive on us.
...to save yours.
There's potentially fatalities involved.
That car's a right mess.
Delivering intensive care by air.
Scene is not safe.
There's a lot of blood there. There's a lot of blood there.
No matter how critical the case.
This is the first time anything like this has ever happened.
We're circling a house fire.
However risky the place.
I'm going to get down there quickly.
He's got an almost complete amputation at the right knee. You're having a heart attack, okay? The heart is blocked. Let's get loaded and go.
Going to extraordinary lengths.
Hey, this from Medic 2 at the patient's side, however.
With humour.
You might get rest at week off if you're lucky.
What is it, Thursday?
Yeah.
And compassion.
Okay, Chick, we're just going to get you out, alright? Don't worry, we'll look after you, I promise.
This time on Helicopter ER.
Oh, definitely. There's a lot of blood there. There's a lot of blood there. He's a shot in the front of the back as well.
The team fight to save the life of a man who's been shot in broad daylight.
He's got multiple pellet-type injuries.
Stationary motorbike being hit by this pickup.
A motorcyclist is in danger of losing his leg after being hit by a pickup truck.
Where's your pain at the minute, mate?
Right leg very sore.
And in the Dales, the crew are up against the clock after an elderly woman suffers a stroke.
Can I hold your hands? Is that all right? Can you hold me with that one?
At the Yorkshire Air Ambulance headquarters, the scramble siren is sounding. It's a Saturday afternoon, and paramedics Al, Mikey and Dr. Brian are racing to reports of a shooting.
Got a bad feeling about this one. I think it's going to be a shotgun. Drug-related gang. Engine burst to fly. Guarded. Doors and harnesses. Loads unsecure. Let's go back. We've actually got something over the top of the iron. Yeah.
Yorkshire's gun crime has doubled in a decade. This shooting happened just a few minutes ago in South Yorkshire. Details are still sketchy.
You don't really know what you're going to find until you actually arrive on scene and see for yourself.
30 miles on 45 just with Knoxville without down to the southern side.
You get some flight time to the scene. So in your head you're making plans, you're planning for the worst, but hopefully it's not going to be the worst.
We've had reports of someone being shot. So the things that are going through our head is first of all what are they being shot with? It could be anything from a crossbow, a catapult, a shotgun or a handgun or a high-powered rifle, all of which have different injury patterns. Shootings are usually pretty rare, but if they do happen, it's normally with shotguns because they're quite easily obtainable and purchased on the streets quite easily.
Pilot Jeff is flying his medical team to the scene at 160 miles per hour. Journey time is 3.5 minutes.
You see the church with the like 3 big black windows in it. That's where all the trees are at.
But there's a warning from the ground. A gunman is on the run, and their safety is at risk.
Airbus 99 now, we're overhead to park.
Roger, that's received. Police are not seen at this moment in time. Scene is not safe.
500 feet below the circling helicopter, the injured man is lying alone and untreated. But the crew can't land until police contain the scene and give them the all clear.
There are coppers down here, well. Oh yeah, scene 3 o'clock armed response by looks of it. There's DC here at 9 o'clock as well. Watch where this copper goes. It looks like he's got a first aid bag out, doesn't it? There's something going on there. He looks kind of worried. Looks like somebody's got blood or red on him. And we'll go on there, mate, shall we?
They decide to take a calculated risk. Gunshot wounds can bleed heavily, so every minute counts.
Airbus police are on scene, tending to a casualty. We're landing now.
Airbus, that's all received, thank you.
At last, the team can land close to the injured man.
Oh, definitely. There's a lot of blood there. There's a lot of blood there. Right, bring blood out.
We could see evidence of a patient on the ground who was very distressed. There was obviously quite a lot of blood around the scene, which made us concerned that this patient was losing blood very, very quickly, and potentially a catastrophic hemorrhage, and that could kill you within minutes.
Flash dressings, everything's in my bag for hemorrhage.
Stuff in here as well.
Tell us when.
Yeah, go.
Lying on the grass is a man who's been blasted with a shotgun. Armed police have evacuated and sealed off the area. It looks like a targeted attack, carried out just yards from other members of the public.
Hey, you just shot in the front of the back as well.
I don't think so. Oh, wow.
Oxygen's coming on your face, alright?
Right, good lad, well done, lift your head up.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, mate.
What about oxygen for, pal?
Yeah, because you've been shot.
I didn't take it off, pal. You didn't put it on right, but it's not a shower, it's not a shower.
Alright, listen. This is going to help you feel better. Relax.
Get off! Hey, don't be like, listen!
I want to make sure you haven't been shot.
The patient was obviously very, very distressed. He'd been peppered across his face and his chest with lots of small shot from a shotgun, obviously.
I'm going to pop a little drip into your arm, okay?
What?
I'm going to pop a little drip into your arm. Deep breath. Alright, good, well done. And again, mate.
My main concern with shotgun wounds are damage to major organs, bleeding, damage to the chest, problems with the lungs, damage to major structures around the face such as eyes and neck and major blood vessels there.
Can DCA get to us here? DCA can get to there. Yeah.
We've got air entry. We're off to Leeds.
We're not flying.
Yeah, we've got air entry, Brian.
This is going to hurt a bit. There we go. Mikey, we're going to have a little bit of ketamine here, I think.
Roger.
Dr. Bryan is giving him the strongest pain-killing drug the team carries. It will also calm him down.
10, 20.
No, we're giving you some
30.
Relax, you're fine. You're doing really well, buddy.
So this guy looks like he's been shot with a shotgun. He's got multiple small pellet type injuries across the top of his chest and his neck. Some of those have clearly entered his body, so we'll be getting him onto an ambulance, I think, and off to hospital as soon as they arrive.
Mikey, his neck's really big, isn't it?
Oh.
I can feel it. That's all blood there. So we're going to go.
What do you need, mate?
No, the LGI.
Yeah.
You're decent, mate.
Is there any chance of getting a police escort to go there?
Yeah. We can sort that.
As soon as the DCA comes up, we're going to drive quickly to the LGI.
Sound.
Okay?
Super. 36, alright, mate. You're doing really well.
The gunman is loose, and there's a real danger he may return. The team are working as fast as they can in a high-risk situation.
I'm here.
It's more of a controlled adrenaline rise. Your senses become heightened, you become tuned into what needs to be done, you become really alert and switched on because you need to be on top of your game.
The man is too unstable to fly, so the team must go by road ambulance.
There's police here.
Are we getting knocked out?
No, we're not getting knocked out.
Gunshots can cause complex internal injuries, and the man is bleeding heavily. Paramedic Al is drawing up a drug called TXA, or tranexamic acid. It will help stem any internal hemorrhaging.
You're doing alright, mate.
TXA, Brian. Thanks.
You lift that arm up, mate, get that.
Just need to dry that with something. Yep. Hey, just stay still. You're doing really well. And it's going to be sore. And we would do a thoracotomy.
If the bleeding continues, Dr. Bryan may have to make an incision in the chest wall to drain blood which is crushing the man's heart and lungs.
So we need to have a look at his back and his groin, to be honest with you.
Yo, boys, yeah?
Yeah?
Because my balls.
It's not your balls. I want to make sure you haven't been shot down there. You haven't been shot there, that's fine. If I roll him, someone have a look at his back for me.
Yeah,
Don't spit or move. Ready, stay, move. Anything?
No.
Great, back down.
I feel like I'm trying to help you. I can't.
Yeah, don't worry.
There's no time to lose. The race is on to leave scene and get the injured man to hospital. The man is in a critical condition, so Dr. Bryan and Mikey will travel with him and continue emergency care on the road.
With this guy who'd been shot all over the chest, sometimes we do have to do some more surgical interventions, and so therefore it's easier and better to go by road for access to a patient.
These kind of injuries can be quite devastating from a short-range shotgun blast. Probably the biggest worry is a wound to the heart, surrounded by a tough bag called a pericardium, and if the heart's damaged and it bleeds into the bag, then that blood in the bag stops the heart from expanding properly, so you get less and less expansion. The more blood that ends up in the bag, And the only way to deal with that is to open the chest up and open the bag and get the clot out. Just about getting him in the ambulance ASAP.
The patient is 30 minutes away from a waiting trauma team at the Leeds General Infirmary. His injuries could still prove fatal. Back at the scene, a police hunt for a man with a gun who's prepared to use it in broad daylight is already underway. It's a busy Friday afternoon on Yorkshire's roads, and at the side of a dual carriageway near York, paramedics are fighting to save the life of a biker.
Hi, it's Lisa on the air desk. I've had a message to shout you up.
His injuries are so serious, the paramedics are calling for backup from the air ambulance team.
Got broken potential tip and left femur and a lot of agony if we try and move this patient.
Dispatcher Lisa is scrambling the team from Nostell.
He's in agony and there's no crews anywhere. Well. Yeah.
On board Helimed 99, paramedic Pete and Dr. Paul are 8 minutes from the outskirts of York.
We're going to an approximately, we think about a 50-year-old male that's come off a motorcycle. Sounds like he's been potentially hit at quite high speed. The request comes from one of the road critical care paramedics. I think we're struggling with analgesia with painkiller at the moment. It sounds like he's got a really nasty leg fracture, potentially his femur, his thigh bone is fractured, and also they talk of an open fracture, so the bone sticking out through the leg.
Traffic's still, isn't it?
Yeah, I've got to stop traffic. It's
is that down here?
That bridge by the services.
You down here?
Yeah.
So scene's coming up in the 2 o'clock, guys.
Edison 99, visual scene.
Police have closed the road and huge tailbacks are building. Pilot Elaine will land directly on the dual carriageway.
Any wires on your side?
You've got wires crossing the road.
You've got flagpoles out to 3 and 4 o'clock now.
Visual.
Good left.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, plenty of room on the right.
Yeah.
You go further right if you need to.
Awesome, this way.
Let's go.
The firefighters are already on scene.
Hi mate, how you doing? You alright? What's happened?
Station the motorbike has been hit by this pickup and it sent him quite far down the road.
How's he ended up in here then? He just carried on from there and...
To me, that's quite a lot of speed.
Oh, yeah.
56-year-old Andrew Simister is in agony and being treated by a specialist team of critical care paramedics. He'd stopped at a lay-by when he was hit by the truck and thrown 50 feet down the carriageway.
This chap motorcycle versus van, and travelling around 60, 70 miles an hour, got wiped out. Initially face down when we got here, fire service keeping good C-spine control. Injuries found that we've seen, he's got an open tib fib fracture on the right side. Yeah. He's got a femur fracture. He's also got some pain and palpation on the pelvis, but I've not looked at it properly, to be honest.
It looks a little bit spread, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Treatment-wise, we've given him TXA, we've given him 4 milligrams of ketamine and currently 5 milligrams of morphine so far.
Sweet.
The only outstanding issue really that I haven't done is put the pelvic binder on because he's got so many leathers that if we scoop him at the same time as putting the pelvic binder on...
You need some more bodies, don't you?
Andrew? Hi mate, I'm Paul, one of the doctors. Where's your pain at the minute, mate?
Right leg very soft.
So if we give you a bit more painkiller, and then we'll put a little splint on your leg to keep it still, and then we'll get you on a bit of a scoop, something to pick you up in, like a little stretcher, and then we'll give you a little flight to Leeds. Is that okay? In the helicopter?
Andrew's right leg is mangled and bleeding profusely. He's been lying here in pain for over an hour.
Give me some more kit.
Yep.
And then what we need to do is try and I have to get this lot off him and then binder on. He's got a scuff mark on that tank. I think he's...
Speaking to some witnesses, still early days yet, but initially the tale we're being told is the motorcyclist was stationary in the lay-by and the cyclist was getting off the bike. So if that's the case, there's some questions to be answered somewhere along the line by the driver. Initially we got told it was a fatal RTC. Fortunately it's not, but looks like he's got a really nasty leg injury.
Is it back inside?
Yeah.
And has he got a pulse or not?
Yeah.
Andrew?
Yes.
We're just getting our little splint to pop around your leg, okay? And I'm going to give you some more painkiller.
Please.
It'll make you really wuzzy, buddy. I know it's already made you a bit wuzzy, but I'm going to give you a bit more, okay?
There's a danger Andrew could lose his leg. To save it and ensure blood is flowing properly, Dr. Paul will straighten the leg at the roadside using a traction splint.
That's great, thank you.
It will add to his already agonising pain, so they're giving him ketamine.
Andrew? Andrew? You're not going to die, buddy. It's me again, Andrew, it's me again, one of the doctors. It's Paul, yeah. So Andrew, I know this is easy for me to say, stood here, mate, but the more you can just chill out and go with it. I know you can't, mate, I know you can't, but the more you can, the smoother it'll be, buddy, okay?
Nice slow deep breaths, Andrew.
Well done, buddy.
Do that.
Did you say you had any other medical conditions then, Andrew? Say again, buddy. Sleep apnea. And you wear your CPAP mask at night? Yeah.
Andrew's sleep apnea, when breathing stops and starts during sleep, is not good news. It will affect the dosage of painkiller the team can give him.
So guys, I'm going to go relatively light on the ketamine because he's got sleep apnea and he has a CPAP hood at night, so we're not losing the airway basically. So we're going to be lighter on painkiller because it's safer.
Are you alright pulling on that leg as well when we're ready?
Yeah, sure. Andrew, bit more painkiller, okay, buddy?
Just to brief you guys, when we move him, he probably will start screaming the house down. It's a reaction, it's not so much as you can feel it.
We're just going to move your leg, buddy, okay? Take some deep breaths, mate. Yeah, whenever you guys are ready. Go on, mate. Oh, yeah.
Okay. You can breathe all right, fella.
Yeah, go on, just give it a good pull, guys.
Pete is using traction to pull the broken bones in Andrew's legs straight.
You're nearly done, Andrew. Well done, buddy. No, you're not dead, buddy.
All the way up. Yeah, shift that blanket a minute. Bandage around it for you. Spot on. Lift there. Sorry, buddy. Tight as you can.
Pete has done it.
That's it, and get that as far up as we can. Okay, we're good under there. Oh no, mate, I'm sorry, it's me.
Andrew, we're just going to roll you onto your side, buddy, okay? So essentially, guys, we're going to roll him to almost 90 degrees, okay? Get this all the way under and then roll back down. You're going to be in charge of the roll if you're happy. Everybody got a bit and everybody happy? Go on then, on you.
They're rolling him onto a scoop stretcher.
Hey guys, you're right. It's Andrew. He's 57. Yeah. Looks like an isolated right leg, possibly a femur, open fracture here. We'll go to LGI. Yeah. What are you thinking from here? Like 40 minutes on blues?
Less than that, probably.
Less than 40?
25 maybe. Yeah.
Right, in that case then we'll definitely go by road. So yeah, change of tack, guys. We're not going to fly, okay? We're just going to go in the DCA. So 25-30 minutes on blues. It's not high, and by the time we've loaded him, started engines, flown and landed, there's not much time benefit at all, to be honest with you.
Andrew had stopped in the lay-by to adjust his belt when the truck hit him.
Andrew's obviously come off his bike. He's got quite a significant sort of injuries down his right-hand side. The prime concern is that he may have fractured his pelvis. It's quite a common injury when people go on certainly big motorbikes and they sort of come off the bike, go forward, and the legs get splayed out over the fuel tank. It's quite a big fuel tank on this bike as well. Possibly he's fractured his femur, and then further down he's got a laceration and sort of deformity to his lower leg. So what we've done is we've straightened everything out. We've made sure that he's got some distal circulation, so he's got blood going all the way down to his foot. We've given him some decent painkillers, some of which are short acting and very strong like ketamine, some of which are a bit longer acting but take longer to work like morphine, so he's going to have plenty of pain relief all the way in the hospital. So the crew are going to take him to Leeds and hopefully he'll be alright.
Andrew is becoming more distressed. The ground ambulance crew will keep him calm during the journey to hospital.
He's stable. I mean, he's going to need surgery, and so yeah, he's taking the lead.
I'll let Alan inform that.
Yeah.
Cheers for that.
Andrew is heading for the nearest major trauma centre, where surgeons will try their best to save his leg. For Paul and Pete, it's back to base.
There's a note on my basic verb.
It'll be forward. The pipelines will go.
Helimed 99 is 1,500 feet up and heading back to base when another emergency comes through. Dispatcher Andy is on the air desk.
He's coming down a bit more now. I think he's realising he's into this.
Motorcyclist into a window.
Open rib fracture.
Pilot Lee is turning the aircraft around. There are 21,000 motorbike accidents every year in the UK, and the team are heading to another one. Paramedics Gav and Steve are racing to Barnsley in South Yorkshire. On board with them, Dr. Paul gets the details as they come in.
Sounds like a motorbike rider that's gone round a corner. Lost control, he's gone all the way through a front garden, and we've been told he's gone through a front window, smashed the window and gone through it. The level of consciousness of the patient is still unknown.
Bikers are 62 times more likely to die in accidents than car drivers, and this case sounds like a serious high-speed impact.
The main thing that I was thinking about on the way to this job was, has this gentleman got a significant head injury? Does he have any chest injuries that we need to treat? And also he may have some significant cuts or wounds with lots of bleeding from them. So they're all the things that we need to think about.
The crash has happened on a housing estate in the village of Bolton upon Dearne. They're landing in a nearby field. A passerby has been with the patient.
Is he chatting away, mate? No. Is he talking at all? Mumbling.
Police and local paramedics are on scene.
This 99 at the patient.
Hope taps, you alright?
What's the story?
Come around the corner.
No, don't go, sorry. Yeah.
Shut down, stop it and landed as he is. Had a helmet on, but that's come off.
Okay. Where's the blood coming from there? Wound that side, is that an open? Yeah. Just a wound, okay. What's his name?
Trevor.
Has he spoke to us?
No.
He spoke to me.
Trevor, open your eyes.
Trev, open your eyes.
Trevor, open your eyes. Hello, my name's Steve.
43-year-old biker Trevor Law is barely conscious. His motorbike hit the curb and he was thrown 15 feet into the window. Dr. Paul suspects his ribs shattered in the impact.
The only thing I'd say just from an observation point of view is he's got this bit of like
seesaw breathing.
Seesaw and almost a bit of air hunger, you know what I mean? He's really filling that up.
Yep.
And he's just got that, it's just not a normal pattern. But it doesn't necessarily show anything, but I just mean in terms of is he bleeding, has he got something more going on? It's just not, that's not normal basically, so. Yeah, I'm going to say he's got some pathology somewhere just looking at the way he's breathing, so we need to have a real good look. There was lots of glass all over the place. There was many people around. It was really noisy, and also the patient looked really unwell.
Trevor, stick your tongue out. Stick your tongue out for me.
Somebody that's come off a motorbike at high speed and crashed into a window has significant blunt trauma to them, and that may indicate some huge chest and abdominal injuries.
So his femur feels intact there.
He may have a pelvic injury, and he's got a really nasty injury to that right thigh. The thigh bone underneath it may be broken, but if not, it's a significant wound, so we put what we call a blast dressing around that to try and prevent any further bleeding. He's got really significant right-sided chest injury, so he's got some broken ribs on there, and he's almost certainly got a collapsed lung underneath, so what we call a pneumothorax. His heart rate's quite high, so he's what we call tachycardic, which is a concern. He's got reduced air entry and his oxygen levels are slightly low. So for the moment, we're going to give him some really strong painkillers, see how he settles down with that.
Is that fentanyl coming?
Coming, mate.
Is that going in now, Gav?
Trevor's sister rushed to his side.
You just keep holding his head, sweetheart. Done a really good job there, thank you. So the only, I think, immediate risk is this side of his chest. We got ready for scoop, guys?
Paramedic Steve wants to get his patient to hospital, fast. He's losing consciousness.
Hey, this from Medic 2. Yeah, quick update. Patient reduced GCS, that's a 92 with possibly pneumothorax on right hand side. He's got a pelvic binder on and a nasty wound to his right thigh. We're just giving him some fentanyl and TXA now. Plan is to go to Northern by DCA. On your call, Gav.
Everybody ready? Yeah.
Ready?
3, 1, 2, 3.
Leave that clothing.
Trevor crashed on the street where his parents live. It's a corner he's taken many times before on his bike, but today he lost control, leaving him with critical injuries. Steve and Dr. Paul will travel with him to hospital.
Trevor, stick your tongue out, buddy.
Please, yeah.
Trevor.
We were quite worried about this patient. He was getting more and more drowsy, and my concern was that we might need to administer an anaesthetic, which would be easier to do in the back of an ambulance. I was also concerned that he might have a collapsed lung, and therefore we might need to treat that collapsed lung en route.
Trevor has been given a drug to stem any internal bleeding.
Trevor, squeeze my hand, mate. Trevor, squeeze this hand. Yeah, well done, mate. Let go.
He is 20 minutes from a hospital trauma team. Dr. Paul and Steve will continue his life-saving care on the journey. This crash may change his life forever.
Ask her to raise both arms straight out in front of themselves and hold for a moment.
In some medical emergencies, a few minutes can make the difference between life and death.
She hasn't moved her left arm. She's moved her right arm, but not her left arm.
And the 999 call Andy's listening into could be one of those cases.
Exactly what time did these symptoms start?
About half an hour ago.
A lady having a stroke, half an hour ago.
Help to arrive. It's going to take
There's no one allocated to it yet, and it's far out in it.
as long as I can.
The patient is located in the Yorkshire Dales. It will take over an hour for a ground ambulance to reach her. Helimed 99 is on the case. Paramedics Pete and Gemma and Dr. Brian will fly there in 18 minutes.
H145 helicopter out of Wakefield, 5 on board. We're inbound to Settle.
The stroke is a disease of the elderly. Part of the test we do is one, there's facial expressions with strokes. There's abnormalities there. The next one is when you can raise both arms. The next one is speech. You lose your speech a little bit, and then time is of the essence, really, and it's the T-word which we can reduce time.
They need to get there as quickly as possible. A stroke victim loses almost 2 million brain cells every minute.
An information, Helimed 99 Alpha is landing just north of Settle. We'll give you a call to see.
This the village underneath us?
See, there's 3 white vans sat outside an house down there.
Yeah.
It's down here, it's down in that neck of the woods. Is there a call sign there?
I can't see one, no.
It's
Just over the bridge to the north side of the river.
I'd put it down near that bungalow, near that scrub, and the worst comes to worst, we'll just walk into the village.
Alright then, okay. I'm going to put us in the fields. The flat field just down here inside the church.
Okay, mate. Well, I think basically put us where the...
I think that's just the easiest place to
probably the safest landing site, mate. You've got telegraph wires are sort of running on the edge of the... Well, you got them.
I'll pick me to open door.
Yes.
Their patient was at home when the stroke started.
So this lady is immobile normally in bed.
Going to need a winch to get her out.
We will sort everything out, don't worry. Hello, sir. My name's Gemma. I'm one of the paramedics from the air ambulance, and we've got Brian the doctor as well. Is this Linda, is that right?
Hello, Linda. My name's Gemma. We've come to see you today. Your husband was a little bit worried about how you were feeling.
82-year-old Linda Howarth's behaviour is out of character. Her husband and daughter are very worried.
The carers came as usual.
Yeah.
And she was fine.
Okay.
I gave her a breakfast.
Yeah.
And in the middle of her breakfast, her food was coming out of her mouth again.
Okay.
And she obviously wasn't with it.
Yeah.
At all.
Okay. Did she have her eyes open?
Half closed.
Half closed. Okay. But she just wasn't eating as she normally would.
No.
Okay.
Linda, can I hold your hands? Is that all right? Can you hold me with that one? That's it. How about this one? Does this one move today? Can you raise your leg? Yeah, you got me. So that one would normally move. She would have full use of it. Yeah, she'd use it. Yeah. And what about her face? As you look at her, does that look any different? So I think that's drooping down a little bit. Is that what you think as well? Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Linda is showing all the signs of a stroke. Now the team must decide on the best plan for her care.
So we're going to see if there's a normal ambulance, because I think that's a bit more appropriate than a helicopter in this situation. So we'll see how far away they are, and then we'll do some various tests and take it from there.
Linda's woken up this morning. Her carers have been a little bit concerned, along with her husband, that she's having a stroke, and she's certainly showing the signs of it. She's got facial droop, and she's lost the use of her left side. So that's clear indications that might be what's going on.
Yeah, is there any update on a DCA? I think that's going to be more appropriate in this situation of her. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, they're not far. It says they're unseen, but there mustn't be if you can't see them.
Just as I rang you, they've just pulled up. Thank you. We've got Linda inside. She is a 82-year-old lady who normally is hoisted in and out of bed so has very little mobility anyway. She's woken up this morning and was unable to eat and has got left-sided weakness, left-sided facial droop as well. So she's fast positive as such.
What time did that start?
We got told 40 minutes before we got called, so probably an hour and a bit now. So she's unable to speak, but I don't think she communicates normally anyway. I think she said alone, and that's all. But the droop's new, and the loss of use of the left side is new. I think from our point of view, it's probably more appropriate for you to take her. I don't think. I think Lancaster would be a secondary transfer. The way things are, we might be waiting for a DCA forever to secondary transfer us anyway.
Linda lives in a small village in Ribblesdale. The nearest hospital is over 20 miles away.
There's specialist stroke units that are dotted around the country, and the nearest one today is Lancaster, so that's certainly something that we could contact them about and tell them that Linda has this sudden onset symptoms. So we're just deciding which hospital's best for you to go to today, Linda. Okay, because you're obviously a little bit of a distance away from a few of them because you live in a nice part of the world. Is that your husband? Yeah, he's in on the conversation outside. He's helping to decide.
This isn't the first time Linda has had a stroke, but this one looks serious.
There's a back entrance, we can get her out quite easily.
These incidents are quite difficult. It's an elderly lady who's undergoing a lot of care at home currently, and the decision is for her to be admitted to Lancaster Stroke Unit. But the tricky bit is, whenever people have had strokes, they never recover full function afterwards, so it's a difficult time for this family in the future with regards to care after discharge from hospital, if in fact she does get discharged.
Ready, brace, move. Sorry Linda, we'll get you sat up. And then we'll get you comfy again, because you're just a bit off to the side, aren't you? She's coming up to the bump now, ready? There we are. Get a bit of fresh air for a minute, Linda.
It's a difficult day for Linda's husband, Harry, who is accompanying her to hospital.
You're all right, Harry. Steady on there.
They've been married for over 60 years, but today he doesn't know whether she'll be returning home with him.
All right.
In the UK alone, 1.3 million people are living with the devastating effects of a stroke. The quick response from the HeliMed team will have given her a fighting chance of recovery. At RAF Topcliffe, the duty crew have dispatcher Gemma on the line.
Literally, there's nobody coming for him at all, and he's saying he can't move for whatever reason, so I'll do a bit more investigating, but it just looks quite steep.
On a mountain biking trail on the edge of the North York Moors, a rider is lying badly injured.
Riser is down, and my brief is that we'll lift, go over there, have a quick check of the windsock, but I'm expecting there's no wind. We'll go just straight across the airfield there.
Pilot Harry is flying paramedics George and Andy 10 miles to the scene.
We're off to a location that's been identified on the What 3 Words app for a mountain biker. The weather's not great today, so we're going to see what it's like when we get into that location. Hopefully we'll get to him and be able to provide some medical care.
So there's a path coming down, you can see it on the right, coming down the hill, and he's on that track somewhere near the bottom. Right, this one here with the logs looks like it's got a gateway to cross.
Is this directly below us?
Yeah.
Because there's some horses in this field.
Yeah, no, next one along.
Oh.
They're landing as close as they can to their patient without scaring the horses.
This is Mick's brother Johnny. Yes. Is it your brother Mick? It is, yes.
The patient is lying a long way into the woods. This climb is a challenge, even for super fit Andy. Mick Walsh was on a ride out with friends. He's just taken early retirement from civil engineering. Now he's badly hurt.
Hello, sir. My name's Andy.
We all came off the ground as we were going up a bump. I toppled over sideways.
Lucy, I'm going to move you over.
It was quite a long drop before I actually hit the ground.
Mick is fortunate that passers-by who stopped to help are trainee paramedics.
You're not being knocked out?
No. My hip hit the ground when I stood up. I've got a shooting pain between my hip and my spine. Really, really sharp pain.
His symptoms are very worrying. They could be a sign of a spinal injury.
Hip to the middle of the back, around here?
Yeah, around there, yeah, but it doesn't feel like it's my spine, it feels in the gap between the two.
So in between there and there?
Further round, up.
Up. And what about this? Can you feel your leg there? Does that feel alright, all that leg?
Yeah.
Mick's friends saw him fall.
It's one of those really simple accidents that happens. They're never as glamorous as people imagine. Just cycling up this trail, it's quite a steep hill. Going to the right is really bumpy, and as he's applied some power, the bike's wheelied, and it's wheelied over the top of itself because it's a really steep hill in a low gear, and all that's happened is he's fallen backwards, but because of the steepness of the hill, he landed flat on his back. And we're only half an hour away from finishing the ride as well.
Andy knows Mick needs careful handling. It was a significant fall.
His breathing's alright.
He wants help from the local mountain rescue team and other cyclists.
Can you do us a favour? Somebody on an electric bike? Can you make your way down to the helicopter? Ask him to give you the gas and air. We're going to give him some gas and air, some morphine, IV, and wait for mountain rescue to arrive to extricate. Hi mate. You alright? Hi mate, Andy and George. We could vacuum him, couldn't we? Because he'd be more secure in the vacuum on your stretcher. And then we'll decide how we're going to get him to hospital. We'll see where the DCA gets at.
The gas and air is arriving on 2 wheels.
All right, can I grab that off you? Maybe if we go down the bottom.
Yeah.
Mick is being given the pain-killing gas, but he's very cold. Morphine can make patients feel sick, so the team are dispensing an anti-sickness drug.
Alright, should we give him some Danzatron anyway then? I'll give him a couple of milligrams just to start with.
It's a remote area and a lengthy journey for road ambulances.
It's going to take us a bit of time just to get his pain under control and to get him out with mountain rescue, and then we could probably make a decision when we're at the bottom of the hill. With there being no DCAs allocated, I think it's preferable that we transport.
Mountain Rescue Specialist Stretcher will ease the half-mile journey to the helicopter over this very rough terrain.
Received, much appreciated.
And it could be a bumpy ride for Mick.
It's just said the pain's coming back a bit.
Do you know what I'd do? Before we move on to this stretcher, load up on this gas. Get well loaded up on it.
Mick's being immobilised to protect his spine.
The plan is that we will lift the gentleman up and we'll slide in the stretcher with the vacuum mattress on it underneath him, and then we'll be able to package him in the vacuum mattress and carry him out on the belt down to the waiting helicopter.
Press a lift and lift.
This is not how Mick imagined his retirement would begin.
It was really great that we were able to get the local mountain rescue team out. They've done an absolutely fantastic job. There's no way that myself and Andy would have been able to get Mick out. It was such a steep incline that, I fell over once, so it shows you how steep it was. They're really invaluable. They're all volunteers as well. So, absolute appreciation for those at the moment, and we worked as an absolute team.
Come that way a little bit, guys. Centre like that, so keep going to me. And stop there, do it like we're on. Are we straight?
It's really important, working with the local mountain rescue teams. They know this area really well. They know the best way to get this, patient out down to the aircraft and get him away up to hospital, which is what he needs.
From that, okay.
Mick's being flown to the regional trauma centre in Middlesbrough.
Engines both in flight.
They are, and they're guarded.
Confirm. Doors found in stretcher.
Closed and secure right.
Closed and patient secure in rear.
Cautions are maskless.
They are clear. Element 98 Alpha has just lifted from just underneath the top cliff stub, routing up to James Cook. We've got a southerly wind at the moment, so what I'll do is I'll do a fly past the hospital right-hand turn and come almost back down the main road to the pad. That's the clearest approach. There we go, that's us lined up on the pad now, towards the pad.
10 minutes after leaving the national park, pilot Harry is touching down at the James Cook Hospital helipad. Mick is heading straight for scans to his back. He could be months in recovery.
You just shot in the front of the back as well.
The man who was shot in South Yorkshire survived what police believe was a targeted attack. Firearms and other weapons were recovered during the investigation. Several people were arrested in connection with the shooting, but no one was charged. The victim did not engage with police and refused to give evidence.
Stationary motorbike being hit by this pickup.
The first realisation that I'd been hit was like this massive explosion of energy going through my body, through the helmet, and me being thrown through the air and all this debris being thrown through me. And that's all I remember.
The air ambulance team did all they could to save motorcyclist Andrew Sinister's leg after he was hit by a pickup truck when he stopped in a lay-by.
There were doctors or consultants in front of me explaining really that my leg was very badly damaged, more than likely would have to be amputated, and I said, you've got to try and do everything to save my leg. And I've got a scar that starts and goes all the way up my right leg, which is where they took a donor vein out, and they actually got blood supplied through to my foot, but the rest of my leg was too badly damaged.
He spent 19 days in hospital, undergoing 5 operations and 7 blood transfusions.
Having my helmet on, having my winter leathers with the body armour, back protector, elbows, shoulder pads, I think certainly saved me from any further injuries. Yes, I lost my leg, but I didn't have any other injuries.
The pickup driver was found guilty of driving without due care and attention. He was fined and received 6 points on his licence. Andrew's recovery is ongoing.
My wife, she has been fundamental in my recovery, but the support from my friends, from the motorcycle club, has been incredible. And that's what's got me through, but also my own personal determination. I'm not going to be a victim. Dreadful things happen to me, but I'm not just going to sit in a wheelchair and vegetate for the rest of my life. I want to run. I've run marathons before. I want to do another one. And I've raised money this year through my motorbike club, which will go to Air Ambulance, because they helped save my life.
Motorcyclist into a window.
Hospital doctors placed 43-year-old biker Trevor Law into a medically induced coma after he came off his motorcycle and hit a window.
Seesaw breathing.
Seesaw and almost a bit of air hunger.
Scans found Trevor had broken his back and all his ribs on one side. He also broke his collarbone, shoulder blade, and punctured a lung. Trevor spent a month in hospital and is still undergoing physio.
Hello, sir. My name's Andy.
Scans in hospital confirmed mountain biker Mick Walsh broke his back when he fell off on a wooded trail in the North York Moors.
And what about this? Can you feel your leg there?
Doctors advised the fractures should be allowed to heal naturally at home. After 6 weeks of rest, Mick was pain-free. He's now back on his bike.
Hello, Linda. Your husband was a little bit worried about how you were feeling.
Tests at the Royal Lancaster Infirmary confirmed 82-year-old Linda Howarth was having a devastating stroke.
Linda, can I hold your hand? Is that all right?
She stayed in hospital for 5 weeks, away from Harry, her husband of 61 years. The couple met as teenagers at their local Methodist church. Linda never came home after the stroke. She died shortly after being transferred to the hospital in their hometown of Settle in the Yorkshire Dales. She leaves 2 children and 2 grandchildren.
NS99 lifted.
They fly in some of the UK's most dramatic landscapes.
Okay, the weather's starting to close in. I'm worried I can't get over the ridge. My escape option at the moment is to go up.
From high-rise city centres
It's going to be bumpy, it's going to be turbulent, guys.
to remote peaks battered by extreme weather.
The top looks to be in cloud. Can you confirm that's the case, Ellen?
The crews of Yorkshire's 2 air ambulances risk their lives
Gone unresponsive.
It's just gone unresponsive on us.
to save yours.
There's potentially fatalities involved.
That car's a right mess.
Delivering intensive care by air.
It's not safe.
There's a lot of blood there. There's a lot of blood there.
No matter how critical the case,
This is the first time anything like this has ever happened.
We're circling a house fire.
however risky the place.
I'm going to get down there quickly.
He's got an almost complete amputation at the right knee. You're having a heart attack, okay? The heart is blocked. Let's get loaded and go.
Going to extraordinary lengths.
Hey, this from Medic 2 at the patient's side, however.
With humour.
You might get rest at week off if you're lucky.
What is it, Thursday?
Yeah.
And compassion.
Okay, chick, we're just going to get you out, all right?
Don't worry, we'll look after you, I promise.
This time on Helicopter ER.
Oh, car versus ambulance.
An emergency care assistant is critically injured in a serious crash with a car.
She doesn't want to put her hips down, does she? Which leads us to think it probably is a pelvis, isn't it?
Paramedic George treats a young cricketer in agony on a village cricket pitch.
Keep breathing, breathing.
Oh, my leg.
You've got into that tree with a fair bump.
And a grandmother is hurt after a car spins off the road and smashes into a tree.
So what was the last thing you remembered?
Just spinning round.
So is he still trapped in the vehicle at the moment?
At Yorkshire's Air Ambulance HQ, dispatcher Rachel is on the line to 999 control.
Is the likelihood that this patient's going to be trapped for some time? Guys, you've got a job!
There's been a serious crash involving a car and a van. It's outside Yorkshire, but ground paramedics are desperate for backup.
Area? Yeah, it's Bolton. They've got a RTC trapped by Abdo in a vehicle. They've been on scene 20 minutes. Can't get him out at the minute. They want blood and a doctor because he's still trapped.
The air ambulance carries both. It's an immediate scramble for Dr. Sarah, with paramedics Pete and Lisa.
Radio's in line.
There's no change lights on.
Autopilot.
It's engaged.
Auto train.
Engaged. Now round to the west.
Good left.
Pilot Lee is racing his medical team 43 miles across the Pennines and over the county border to Bolton in Greater Manchester.
To the north, follow the M62 and come down to the south at the other side of the peak.
Dr. Sarah's hoping more details will be fed through from the crash site.
We don't know too much at the moment. All we do know is that there's a patient who's been in a road traffic collision. He's been trapped for half an hour by his abdomen, so it seems. And the crew who are on scene are struggling to get him out and have asked us to go to assist with some blood.
My take on this is the crew think because they're pressed up against the steering wheel, when they release them, they're going to have a drop in blood pressure, and that's why they want the blood.
The team are up against the clock. If their patient is close to death, they may need an immediate flight to hospital.
Lisa, do you mind just asking Rach which trauma centre it will be?
Yeah, possible.
It might have an impact on where we land, mightn't it? Thinking about it.
Rich, can you do us a favour? Could you just try and confirm which is the nearest major trauma centre from this location?
Salford's your nearest, that's 7 miles as the crow flies.
There isn't a helipad if we need a secondary transfer, but it's only about 15 minutes by road. Roger, thanks.
16 minutes after taking off, the team are over the crash site, and what they see is a shock even for them.
That looks like an ambulance there. And it's all, the traffic's stopped.
Right, it's this road now. Visual.
Right.
A road traffic collision involving one of their own is rare, and they need to land quickly. It's not easy.
There's a path, I can get you in this corner, you could probably go through that wood. How do you feel about that?
Where does it come out?
So it comes out onto the road and you just follow the road down.
Okay, we'll take the bags, Lisa. You're going to bring blood, please?
Yeah, you're looking good left.
Thanks, mate. Yeah, we'll go committed there.
Oh, good.
Thank you. The pathway's in the 12 o'clock, guys.
Yep.
As they approach, their suspicions are confirmed. It is an ambulance, not a van which has collided with the car.
Oh, car versus ambulance. Oh, is there only one person who has been injured? The driver's just getting checked out, but he was walking and talking.
Oh, bless, no wonder. Horrifying.
The female ambulance driver appears unhurt, and there were no patients on board. But her colleague, who was trapped in the passenger seat, has just been cut free by fire crews. And she's in agony.
We're not too sure about speed of impact, but we know that she was travelling about 35 miles an hour. Quite a significant intrusion right where she's sat. It's quite a small cab anyway, so I think a lot of damage has done to the lower leg knees and maybe pushed back into the pelvis. She's been quite vocal throughout, but she's had decent observations. Anesthesia-wise, she's had 10 milligrams of morphine. She's just had another 5 just now, but she's also had 50 of ketamine as well.
Okay. Hello, Eleanor. I'm Sarah. I'm one of the doctors from the air ambulance. Hello. We've come to see you, all right? Can I just have a quick look at you before we move you anymore?
32-year-old Eleanor Whitrod was pinned by her abdomen in the cab of the ambulance for over an hour. She has multiple traumatic injuries.
Yeah, can you stick your tongue out for me? Stick, good girl, well done. Okay. Take me a deep breath. Good girl, well done. I'm just having a feel on your tummy, all right?
Her fellow emergency workers have battled to free her, and they know her injuries are potentially life-threatening.
Does that hurt? She's guarding on her tummy, she's sore in her chest. Her pelvis is stable, but I'm not going to be able to tell if it's sore or not. But let's cut the pants, put the binder on, defo. She doesn't want to put her hips down, does she? Which leads us to think it probably is a pelvis, isn't it? Okay.
Eleanor was on shift in a private ambulance when it collided with a car.
They've not been on blue lights, interestingly. I thought they were on blue lights, but they're not. Just driving up here 35 mile an hour, 40 mile an hour road. Right. Is she one of paramedics? She's paramedic, yeah. She's front passenger seat. I just think we should go with her.
Eleanor has already been dosed up with disorientating pain-killing drugs. The team are putting her onto a scoop stretcher. She needs to get to a major trauma unit as fast as possible.
We'll start getting on with that, guys.
The question is whether to fly or drive.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Lee said he can relocate to the road if you want him to. I don't think we're going to gain out from it. I don't think we're going to gain. Not for a 15-minute drive. She's had quite a bit of ketamine and morphine. Just have a look at what happened to her seat. I just wonder if her hips are broken. I just was a bit worried because she can't put her legs down, which suggests she's got her hips have pushed through into her pelvis. So having a look at this, she's actually a really small person and it's massive intrusion here. So it's pushed the engine block into where she should be seated. So there wasn't actually enough space for a person and the engine, which is why she's so damaged. See, I'm really concerned about her pelvis, which can bleed quite horrendously. So we just want to be as quick as we can actually and get up to hospital.
Eleanor's medical knowledge means she may be aware just how badly injured she is.
Hi Eleanor, I'm Pete. You've been immobilised because of the accident. We've got you on oxygen, we're monitoring everything, yeah? So, what's hurting now? What's hurting you? Down by your hip? You've got a pelvic binder on. How bad is your pain at the moment? Unbelievable. Some more and I'll do 0.
What's she saying to you about it?
Unbelievable.
Oh really? Yeah, let's give her a little bit.
Well done, my lovely.
Where does she say her pain is the worst pain?
Left hip.
It's the hip. I think it's gone backwards looking in the van. Did you see it?
She was in the front of the van. Her legs have curled underneath her.
Yeah,
she can't obviously flatten her legs. So.
No, it sounds like acetabular injury, doesn't it?
Eleanor's in danger of life-threatening internal bleeding.
Good to go.
There's no time to lose. With no helipad at the hospital, it will be quicker to drive. Dr. Sarah and Pete will travel with her.
As a paramedic, you sort of kind of know the pattern of injury that can happen when there's collisions and joint speeds and that kind of thing. So being sat in the passenger seat and being severely injured and in a lot of pain and knowing the drugs that you're given, I would imagine it's pretty scary.
On board the ambulance, it's dusk and the team must battle with rush hour traffic.
Do you want a dressing or anything over it? Are you happy now?
A dressing wouldn't go amiss.
They are 10 critical minutes away from the hospital. Dr. Sarah is radioing ahead to the waiting trauma team.
A pelvis, although it feels like it's stable, it's got a pelvic binder on, she can't put either of her legs down, and the intrusion into the vehicle makes it look like she's got acetabular fractures. Other treatment-wise, she's had 50 of ketamine, but she's having some more because she's in too much pain.
So the initial increments of ketamine, 20, a further 10 and then 20, and that was some time before we got there.
Peter's loading Eleanor with more drugs, but it's difficult to control her extreme pain and her panic.
Eleanor, you okay? You know you're going to the right place now.
She's been an emergency care assistant for 6 years, but today she's on the receiving end of life-saving care.
I'll be about 5 minutes, Adam. 1 minute.
Yeah.
Do you want some more painkillers, Eleanor?
Eleanor.
She doesn't sound great, does she?
No.
Every jolt on the road is agony for Eleanor, but at last they're at the Salford Royal Hospital.
Well done. Thank you.
You alright?
You're okay.
You're alright, you're not falling, you're not falling, you're not falling.
Eleanor's heading straight for resus. Her condition is critical, and the accident today may change her life.
Pre-takeoff, engine left flight. Yeah, and the guarded. Confirmed left flight, guarded.
It's a sunny Saturday afternoon in North Yorkshire.
Doors, harnesses, stretcher. Close and secure, right.
Secure in the back.
Cool, you good left. Roger.
And taking off from the base at RAF Topcliffe, Helimed 98 is airborne to a village cricket pitch.
98's lifted, route in Weatherby.
A young cricketer is injured. Paramedics Daz and Georgina are just 8 minutes flight away.
We've got reports that a 16-year-old may have fractured and or dislocated their ankle. You can actually break it to a point where you can stop the blood supply going to that foot. You can get some nerve damage, you can get some blood flow damage, so it's really important that we get there as quick as we can, just to make sure that we can try and save that limb.
Pilot Harry is flying his medical team 20 miles into scenic Wharfdale.
So just confirm, it's at the cricket pitch, yeah? Yeah, it's at the cricket pitch. They've cleared the field and we can clear to land. So I imagine that one person left on the pitches. Yeah, it's probably the bloke who's hurt himself in the middle of the pitch. Yeah, it might be, yeah. 98's overhead sea visual, clear to land.
Harry is choosing his landing spot carefully.
I don't want to upset the casualty, but I also don't want to go anywhere near the cricket club itself. No, there's quite tall trees just before as well. I'm looking, I think I'm going to go on... They overshoot and then... Yeah, exactly. The only thing is that the downwash will go slightly towards them, so I'm going to go right off the pitch between the nets and the road. Yeah, roger.
They'll be happy you've not parked on the inner circle, aren't they?
Yep.
They've been playing cricket at Walton Cricket Club for over 100 years. But today, one of their opposing team's youngest members is badly hurt.
Hi, my name's George. I'm paramedic. Brendan is maintaining his own airway.
His mum and an off-duty doctor have been tending to him.
I've not done any cold catching. Hi, Brendan. My name's George. I'd like to say what we're doing down here, but I think it's a bit obvious, isn't it? Am I right to just do a few checks on you? Is that all right?
Yeah, just make it better.
I will do, don't worry.
15-year-old Brendan is a promising young bowler. He was going in for his second over when his studs caught in the crease and his ankle snapped. He's in a lot of pain.
We're going to give you some gas and air.
Okay.
All right. Pop this in your mouth.
Yeah.
I want you to breathe it in. I want you to take a lovely deep breath in for me. All right, that's it. Forgive me for being presumptuous, are you, Mum?
I am, yeah.
Are you right just to coach him through that? So just get him to breathe, every breath he breathes in. Have you had this before?
Yeah.
Oh, so you know how good it is then. So as soon as he stops taking it, it will go back to his normal self, but it's just helping his pain at the moment. All right, Mum.
Spasm.
Keep going on this. Keep going on this. This is
spasm.
It's a severe fracture. His teammates rested his broken leg on a cricket pad until help arrived.
Does it hurt anywhere else apart from this ankle?
Wrist bit here, right?
On your shin?
The paramedics need to give him painkillers.
Sharp scratch, are you ready? Keep your arm nice and straight for me. Breathe, Brendan, breathe, that's it.
Yeah,
breathe. Breathe. No, well done. Come on. That looks good.
Daz wants to take a closer look at the ankle, but it's painful.
Keep breathing, breathing. Yeah, we have to get you off, and I think looking at it, we might just straighten that.
So we're going to give you some morphine now, okay? I'm just going to give you a bit at a time. So obviously it will help with the pain, but it can make you feel a bit sick.
Yeah, Roger mate, patient update, just ABC stable, query fracture dislocation to his left ankle. Yeah, have you got a DCA en route over?
Yeah, DCA en route from Leeds at the minute does. ETA 17 minutes, we've got it upgraded.
Wait, what's in my hand?
Roger received, 17 minutes over.
The morphine quickly takes effect.
Wait, what's happening in my leg right now? What is it?
It's just spasming, Daddy.
Oh,
So
okay.
this is really good muscle relaxant, okay?
That's right,
so if it's
you need to do
spasming,
it. You need to breathe.
that's it.
What's your weight? 80 kilos?
70.
70.
Probably. It's quite slender.
I'm 80. I'm 86. I'm 86.
You really?
Yeah, I'm
Oh, yeah.
86 years old. I'm really muscly.
Brendan's fracture is so severe, there's a danger the blood supply to his foot may be compromised. The team need to straighten it where he lies, but he's going to need stronger drugs.
We're going to give you a little drug, and it's going to make everything seem like heaven. So this is ketamine, Mum, so it's a bit of a stronger pain relief. We decided we're going to give him some ketamine. Ketamine's a really good, strong painkiller. Not only does it help that analgesia effect, stop you feeling that pain, but it also creates this sort of dissociative effect where you don't remember what's happened during the event.
Brendan, so you're going to feel a little bit spaced out, yeah?
I'm already feeling a bit
Okay, nice. So it's completely normal. Your mum's still here, and all you need to do is relax if you can.
Tell me about your best holiday.
I've never really been on many holidays, but I remember we used to go to Skegness all the time. It was great.
Tell me about that then.
We're trying to get the patient in a nice relaxed state, give him some pain relief. He's clearly got a dislocation to his ankle. He's in quite a lot of pain when we try and move it, and really what we're going to do is get the shoe off his foot and the sock off so we can have a quick assess of it, and then ideally in one movement get him over and realign the ankle.
Wait for this bit to pass and then we'll...
Once the pain's under control with the ketamine, we'll give that a go.
But the ketamine isn't having the desired effect on Brendan's pain. He's going to need more.
Yeah, sorry, 10 milligrams per. Where's... Tell me what's going on. What's going on, darling?
What's going on? Oh, my leg.
Listen, deep
Why does that hurt so much? Why am I hurting?
Deep breaths.
I've
Listen.
just woken up on tissue right now.
Listen. Long, slow, deep breaths. Well done. It's because he's in pain from his leg. It goes into this dissociative state. So what can happen, because he's still feeling the pain, it brings him back to earth, if that makes sense. So so he's at that border of heaven and hell at the moment. So we just need to give a bit more, just to make him a bit more not quite sure about what's going on. Does that make sense, Mum? Is that all right? Another 10 more, and then we'll, I think we just need to get over that border, don't we? Treating patients of Brendan's age at 15, it's slightly more unusual because they look like an adult, but we still have to treat them as children and give children's doses. It's really important that obviously we don't overdose any children. We're giving them some quite strong analgesia and some quite strong pain relief, and we really need to make sure that it's appropriate for his age and his weight.
The team must now wait. Once the ketamine kicks in, they will roll Brendan onto his back and pull his ankle straight. The ground ambulance has arrived to take Brendan to hospital.
So he's quite a big lad. He's had about 60 milligram of ketamine and morphine.
There we go.
It's time to move Brendan.
There we go. Go.
We're going to roll him.
There we go. Well done. I haven't got the strength.
Daz must use force to pull Brendan's foot back into alignment. It's not easy.
Calm. You're breathing down. Well done.
Despite Daz's best efforts, the ankle isn't fully aligned, but it's enough to allow the blood to flow properly again.
George, I'm not managed to straighten it, so it's kind of it's quite a big lad.
It's got 9 pulses. It's nice and warm
right now.
We'll recheck pulse on the ambulance.
A vacuum splint will mould to the limb and keep it immobile for the journey to hospital.
I'm dripping balls. I'm dripping. It's so delayed.
Brendan's had an unusually strong reaction to the drugs. It could be tricky to get into the ambulance.
Brendan, do you think you can stand up with us and we'll get you on this trolley?
No, I don't think I can stand up. My leg really hurts.
I've got your leg, Brendan. Don't worry about this leg. I'll get that. I've got your leg, Brendan.
I'm tripping.
Just you need to get up, Dennis.
I've got your leg. Don't worry about your leg. I've got it.
I can't stand up.
Yeah.
You can,
Push with your leg. Push.
Fabulous.
Good lad.
Come on, Helen. There you go. There you go. Well done. Yeah.
It's been a harrowing experience for everyone at the club today, but Brendan will soon be on his way to hospital.
I'm tripping balls right now though, sorry. What's going on? Where am I going?
Brendan's mum, Diane, is very concerned.
Just give us a couple of minutes because we're just going to check his blood pressure and things like that, and we'll swing some seats out.
Have you straightened it now?
As much as we can, yeah. But the good thing is he's got a good blood supply to it and he can feel it. So if he didn't have those two things, we'd be more worried. All that. You're going to go in with Toby now. Toby's a much better paramedic than me. Right, take care. I leave you in these guys' capable hands, all right?
Yeah.
You seem to have calmed down a bit now, which is good.
I'm tripping. You have it.
Still on his analgesic cloud, Brendan is a 30-minute drive from Harrogate District Hospital. He'll need surgery, and it may be many months before he can get back on the cricket pitch. After a record-breaking heatwave, Yorkshire is being drenched in thunderstorms and downpours.
BMS, Torques, TOTs, N1, NRs 101.
And on the helipad at the Nostell Airbase, Helimed 98 is taking off in less than ideal weather conditions.
480, that's enough for Holland back. Southerly, then left, lifting. Coming right.
In rural East Yorkshire, a car has smashed into a tree. Dr. Paul and paramedics Rachel and Becky are on the case. It could be a bumpy ride.
On the weather radar, it looks like it's just had a pretty heavy lashing where we're going, and there's just many kind of sprouting heavy showers.
Roger that.
We're going to a car that's collided with a tree. Don't have much more information than that. The only thing we've been told so far is that it's an elderly female patient who we think was probably the driver of the car, and they've hit the tree, and then as the car's come to a standstill, she's got out of the car and then collapsed onto the ground at that point. I guess the question for us really is, do we think this is a medical event, or do we think that the car skidded off the road and it's actually traumatic injuries that's then made a collapse?
Oh, it's got bouncy.
That's because we're beneath that.
That is a heavy shower, isn't it? Wow.
The helicopter flies within strict safety parameters. If the weather gets any worse, pilot JB may be forced to turn back.
Okay, we're past this town, and then it's in front of the next town.
RRV's there. I've got it.
Happy to keep going?
Yeah. Find outside us for overhead beam looking plan.
Yeah, there's the car. Right, there's a gap in the field. You see the gap there, Becky?
Yep.
We're going to land next to that, and that's my plan. Everyone happy with that? If we look now.
Yep.
All clear on the right, all good. That's acknowledged. Continuing forward and down.
That up against the side of a tree.
I've been through a fatal on this tree before.
Oh, have you?
Yeah, we thought just in the farmyard the other side.
Landing on. Tail okay?
Yep, tail looks good, mate.
Coming down.
Fire crews are on the scene, and an off-duty paramedic saw the crash and stopped to help.
Hey, chaps, you alright?
Hello.
So this lady, she's been driving this way between 50 and 60. She's tied in with the tree, self-extricated. We don't really know how she felt before the accident, but she's had this impact.
80-year-old Pauline Franks is dazed. She suffered a collapse at the roadside after dragging herself free from her wrecked car.
Pauline, hiya, I'm Becky. Nice to meet you. Right, I'll look into your chest if that's alright. Any pain when you take a deep breath in?
No, not really.
No, and have you hit your head at all?
No, it's just from there down.
Lovely. And did the airbags come out at all?
Yeah.
So what was the last thing you remembered?
Just spinning round.
Okay, you don't remember anything prior to that?
Just driving along normally. I was watching. I kept away from all the standing water.
Yeah.
Because you see cars splashing through that. I kept away from that. And it just, I don't know what happened, it just spun.
Oh, crikey.
Pauline's patchy memory is a red flag for the team. At 50 miles per hour, she spun 360 degrees off the road and hit the tree head on.
The problem is that when the car impacts an object such as a tree that's essentially immovable, the organs in the body continue to move forward at 50, 60 miles an hour, and they will impact on things, so the lungs will hit the front of the ribs, and that can cause significant damage to the lungs. And sometimes the organs within the abdomen, the liver, the spleen, they can be torn away from the blood vessels and cause catastrophic, life-threatening bleeding.
Pauline's granddaughter was in the passenger seat. She appears unhurt, but the car is a write-off.
So just going to have a feel of your tummy?
Yeah.
All right. Any pain out here?
No, it just feels bruised.
It just feels bruised.
I think the worst thing is my arm.
Yeah, she's banged
It's bruised and the leg.
Yeah. Okay. Do you feel okay in yourself at the moment? Not dizzy? Not lightheaded?
No.
Pauline appears well, but in addition to the huge impact of the crash, something caused her to lose control at the wheel, and Dr. Paul has serious reservations.
The slight trickiness from our point of view is you've obviously had the car's done a good job, but you've had a real good, you've got into that tree with a fair bump. We're not quite sure what happened in terms of the reason for coming off the road. It might have just been heavy shower and you've slipped off, but what we don't want to miss or not think about is that you've collapsed or blacked out at the wheel. No, okay. The other thing is that, without being rude, you're 80, you've had a real good bump in the car, you've got this big seatbelt mark going right across your chest, and you've got this kind of bruising feeling in your tummy. What we don't want to do is send you home from here, and then in an hour or two you suddenly become much worse because actually you've got a bit of bleeding going off in your tummy that we don't know about. Or do you see what I'm getting at? Nick, our critical care paramedics, had a look at your granddaughter, and again the same with her really. Obviously she's young, but she's been in the same bump, and was she in the front of the car, and that side that she was on is the side that's taken the real impact. Our gut feeling between us is that neither of you have got anything significant or worrying.
Should be more bothered about the thunder.
But yeah, but I find it a bit tricky to send you both home from here until you've had a proper check out in 2 or 3 hours from now in the hospital, really.
The team have called in a ground ambulance to take Pauline to hospital, but the nearest crew are over half an hour away. They could fly, but the weather isn't looking good.
Thunderstorms have lightning, they have updrafts, downdrafts, very, very heavy showers, loads of turbulence, and they're generally a very, very bad thing for helicopters or even any sort of aircraft. I'd much rather be down here wishing I was up there than up there wishing I was down here, and that's definitely the case on a day like today.
With the weather turning, Dr. Paul wants to get his patient to shelter.
Are you going for it? What you watch yourself as well?
Pauline's son-in-law drove straight here when he heard about the crash.
Which way are we going? Going up this way and then along the road, are we?
Yeah, thank you.
Just watch out because this might be a bit slippy on here. Last thing we want, isn't it? You bumped your car and then we...
Oh, look at my foot.
Oh, don't worry about that. That's just, you two are fine, which is the main thing. That's just a lump of metal, isn't it? Don't worry about that.
I'm afraid that crew that spotted it has been diverted.
It looks like Pauline skidded on surface water on the road before hitting the tree. There's every chance she has hidden injuries. Dr. Paul doesn't want to risk waiting for a replacement ground ambulance.
It's actually not uncommon that we go to patients who appear well when we first arrive at them, but by the time that we've been on scene for 10-15 minutes, you can see that gradual deterioration over the time, and by the time you arrive at the hospital, actually the patient is significantly more unwell than we first thought when we arrived on the scene. So they're the things that we tend to try and keep an eye out for. We're going to transport the grandmother in the aircraft, and then Nick, the SPCC, has just gone to have a pragmatic chat about family in terms of whether they want to drive in their car and Nick follow them down to Hull. Either way, at least one person's on the way to hospital if we take grandma, and she's more likely to be the poorly one.
Pauline's getting a short flight to the nearest major trauma unit in Hull.
Patient on the aircraft, just over to lift.
Autopilot.
Engaged.
Auto trim.
Engaged.
Risers down and brake.
Helipad out, and we'll go to the right towards the clear air, and then left towards Hull.
Roger.
Lifting. Into the hover. All good, just come right a little bit.
back, up and back from here.
98 we've lifted route to Hull.
We've decided to fly this lady to hospital. Fortunately, the ambulance services are extremely stretched at the moment. We couldn't stay all day with her on scene, especially with this bruising to her abdomen and the seatbelt mark across the chest in case we're missing any injuries at all. So we've decided to transport her into Hull. So 5-minute flight rather than a 25-minute drive.
Right, it's nicely cut with 3 little pads in it, so turning left now, descending. All looking good, position's good, rate of descent a bit high, but I've got it under control. All good. That'll do, landing on.
98 we landed.
Now they've landed, the shock of the accident is beginning to show on Pauline.
What's your full name, my love?
Pauline.
Your last name as well, Pauline?
She's suddenly confused.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Are you feeling a bit dazed? A bit sick?
Yeah. Just silly.
Sometimes it happens, you've got a lot on your mind, don't you?
Yeah.
Alright.
Becky knows it's a sign of a possible head injury. An ambulance will swiftly transfer Pauline to the trauma unit.
Thank you very much.
You're alright, sweetheart.
Thank you.
And I hope that ride in the aircraft wasn't so
No,
horrendous.
that's fine, thank you. Thank you.
Pauline is heading for scans to check for hidden injuries. She's been lucky to escape with her life today. When the sun is shining, Yorkshire's rolling hills and dales are a cyclist's dream, with lung-busting climbs for the most hardened riders. But the descents can be just as challenging.
1016, all good.
High above North Yorkshire, the team on board Helimed 98 are heading back to base when dispatcher Kit radios through.
You are off to a 40-year-old man who's come off his bike on a downhill stretch. He's found unconscious by some passers-by. There's a crew 20 minutes away, so you might well be first on scene to this.
Yeah, roger mate, thanks.
In the hills at the edge of the Dales National Park, a cyclist is in trouble. Paramedics Andy and Sam will fly there in just under 20 minutes.
I've been called to a 40-year-old male who's come off his cycle going downhill. It's quite a fast road where we're going to, and he's been reported to be unconscious initially. He's conscious now, but he's got some injuries.
The team are heading to the village of Beamsley in Wharfdale. Its arduous, twisting roads are a favourite with cyclists.
Right, well, we're looking for the main road that comes across the moor.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's an ambulance coming up the road.
I can see somebody to the left of the ambulance. It's like a white top.
Yeah, got it. Yeah, he's come down a pretty steep hill by the look of it.
Yeah, isn't it? Let us know now, visual.
Pilot JB is searching for a level landing spot. Not easy in this terrain.
Well, let's go to the field on the other side. There's no cows in it. There's a set of wires, but there is an entrance that we can get in.
A few sheep, they'll start running away.
Yeah, well, clear the wires now.
Yeah. That sheep is off now.
Tail's coming right, that'll do there. Landing on. Cleared out.
Cheers, JB.
Hiya mate, so this is Dan. He's been cycling on his own, he's been coming down here, sort of overshot that, come up, over, we think maybe over his handlebars. His helmet's quite intact, so is much of his bike. Now he thinks he's had an LOC because he thinks he's come and then he's sort of woke up. These lads have come and found him, saying he was a little bit more confused when they arrived. He has got central neck pain. Long bones look good, pelvis, chest nice and clear, no pain apart from a bit of pain up here on his shoulder. So C-spine tenderness with some pain potentially, up here dislocation. So that's about where we've got.
47-year-old talent manager Dan Shorrock was tackling this notoriously steep descent when he lost control. Passing cyclists found him unconscious.
I'd say about 5-10 minutes he started to come round. He was sort of like drifting a little bit, not very with it at all.
Dan, you say that you came down this hill and then you went over the handlebars and everything.
I think so, yeah. Well, I tried to steer out. I realised I'd overcut the corner and then that was it.
Okay. You happy with neurology-wise? Have we got any?
Yeah, he
pins and
seems
needles,
quite
good
lucid now.
movement?
Like I said, these gentlemen said he seemed a little bit more confused, but he seems to have come around more.
Okay.
I think we got it as an unconscious episode, and then obviously more alert, and he seems quite alert to me. Do you know what day it is, Dan?
It's a Friday, isn't it?
Yeah.
Tried to get this ride in nice and early to get back to work.
Dan will now be going to hospital this morning, not work. Beneath the brave face, he may have some worrying injuries.
Have you got pain right in the centre when I pushed there? Does that hurt?
No, not massively.
Not massively. But when you say that, is there some discomfort when I push?
Dan was catapulted 12 feet over the handlebars. The impact to his head could in turn cause injuries to his spine and chest.
I mean, if there's no neurology, we've got good movement, we've got good sensation.
Yeah.
I'm happy if you guys are happy for us to sort of mobilise him from here, with a little bit of support, to the stretcher and immobilise from there.
Yeah.
Well, sorry, what's your name? Michael. Michael, if you're happy just supporting his neck for me, just as we sit up. Dan, if it's too painful as we try to sit you up,
We've got a set of on.
just let me know.
Yeah, haven't we?
We'll come at either side of you, Dan, and help you up, okay?
I'll keep hold of your head, okay?
We're going to go nice and gentle.
Dan could collapse again. The team are ready.
Ready, 3, 2, 1. Sit up.
Steady. We're right behind you. Just have a minute. That's it.
Where's that pain, Dan?
Don't move your head, fella. Keep your head still.
Shoulder and sort of across that clavicle there. Okay.
It looks like Dan has painful fractures to his shoulder and collarbone, but Sam's more concerned about his neck pain.
I think, Andy, what we'll do is it's going to be a nightmare to get him onto a scoop here with the ground. So we'll just carry him over to, well, we can walk over to the stretcher, and we'll immobilise him onto that.
Yeah, that sounds reasonable, doesn't it?
Rather than rolling Dan onto a stretcher, Sam wants to allow him to self-extricate. It's proven that patients protect any injury they may have without making it worse.
Right. So when you're ready, if you can stand up with us.
Yeah. Grab your shorts.
And if you feel funny, just let us know and we can sit back down nice and easy.
Can't really grab out because you
Can I use my hand to...
Yeah, watch those nettles there, you might sting yourself.
Yeah.
Jesus. Steady.
Up we go. Perfect. You just grab your bearings there.
Okay. Have a minute, because your blood pressure might just be a little bit weird.
Landed in the hole here, didn't I, boys?
You did.
Good pulse, mate.
Right, Dan, so you're going to go with us, and we're going to go that way.
Thank you.
Okay, nice and steady.
The team will support Dan's neck and head on the tentative walk to the waiting stretcher.
There we go.
I've got C-spine.
They're going to strap into a rigid spinal board.
Do we think we can shuffle? Can you bring your legs up, knees up, and just bring your send down a touch? Good lad. Straight down.
Yeah. That's perfect.
We're good?
Yeah.
How are we doing, Dan?
I'm glad to say it's mainly the nettle stings.
Mainly the nettle
So
stings?
that is what's bothering you more than your shoulder?
Yeah, well, my shoulder is hurting, I've got to be honest.
But the nettles are worse?
Overrides. I've got this sort of burning sensation on my legs and my arms, and then I've got the intermittent pain coming from the shoulder.
Right, so we think that ain't tingling, it's burning. It feels like the nettles, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Have I got any burdock leaves?
The team are joking, but Sam's not convinced Dan's injuries are as mild as they seem. They're taking care to immobilise his neck and spine for the journey to hospital.
Does that hurt?
Yeah, it is sort of more that end.
A little bit.
If I was to isolate it for you.
This is a quiet road in a rural backwater. Dan is lucky he happened to be found by fellow cyclists this morning.
Dan, nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Take care of yourself, alright?
Unfortunate circumstances, but thank you very much.
You're welcome.
The team have done all they can here. Dan's well enough to travel 8 miles to Airedale Hospital by road, freeing up the helicopter for other emergencies.
I've been for some quite nasty injuries with patients down here. He's been, I think, quite lucky today.
While Dan heads off for scans, for the team, it's back to base.
Oh, Corvus ambulance.
Scans in hospital found emergency care assistant Eleanor Whitrod shattered her pelvis and dislocated both hips when the ambulance she was travelling in collided with a car.
I think it probably is a pelvis, isn't it?
The 32-year-old also suffered a broken sternum and several cracked ribs.
Good to go.
Eleanor underwent 4 operations, including plastic surgery to her facial wounds. After a year off work, she still has trouble walking due to nerve damage in her foot. With physiotherapy, it's hoped this will improve over time.
Oh, my leg, my leg, my leg, my leg.
15-year-old Brendan underwent surgery to pin and plate his ankle, which broke when he fell during a game of cricket.
I think my first reaction to it was like, oh my word, what's happened? I tried to stand up on it and it was like, this doesn't feel right, and I looked down and I was like, oh my word, we'll be able to play sport again, and if I'd be able to finish the game, I think was the very first thought, and I was like, maybe not.
I thought, oh, it's just tripped, and then I heard him shout, what's wrong with my leg? I did see the leg initially, but I tried not to look at it because I thought that is horrific. So I was just trying to keep him calm. He was very upset, he was in a lot of pain. It was quite a traumatic day, to be fair.
Oh, my leg's spasming.
Brendan fractured both bones in his lower leg while bowling. His mum was watching the match and stayed by his side.
The worst thing for me was the scream. When they moved his ankle, it took me about 4 days to get over that scream, and I think the lads in the team were in the cricket house, they heard it, and I think it really bothered them, so I felt a bit of a wuss. But then when I heard that they were quite concerned and it got to them a little bit, I didn't feel quite so bad.
Does it hurt anywhere else apart from this ankle?
Saying he wanted to die because he was in so much pain, which was very upsetting. I was so grateful that the air ambulance was coming, really, because at least they were going to get to him a lot faster and give him some pain relief.
Don't give me safe, mate! I'm tripping balls right now, though, sorry!
I remember a couple of things I said, like thinking back on it, I was like, why did I say that at all? But yeah, I don't remember most of it.
I was trying to be really strong and not get emotional for his sakes, because I'm thinking I don't want to scare him and sort of act like it's majorly serious, this, but knowing in my heart that actually the state of his ankle and where it was, this is quite a very bad injury and it could affect him for the rest of his life.
Brendan spent 3 months recovering and is planning to return to playing competitive sport very soon.
It was quite hard just not doing anything all day. I missed the entire cricket season, I think, so it's a shame. It's just practice, I think, for me. Just keep bowling, get more consistent, and eventually I'll be able to get some wickets down.
So what was the last thing you remembered?
Just spinning round.
80-year-old Pauline Franks was kept in hospital for 2 nights after her car hit surface water and spun off the road into a tree.
I don't know what happened, it just spun.
Oh, it's crazy.
Doctors found Pauline had broken her left arm and had severe bruising from the impact.
You've got into that tree with a fair bump.
She's planning to replace her car, which was a write-off, and is taking it easy for now.
I realised I'd overcut the corner and then that was it.
A CT scan in hospital confirmed the paramedics' concerns about cyclist Dan Shorrock. He fractured the lower part of his skull where it joins the neck when he came off his bike in Wharfdale.
We'll come at either side of you, Dan, and help you up, okay?
He also broke his shoulder and collarbone. Dan spent 3 weeks in a neck brace and another 2 months recovering. He's still cycling.